All right, so here we are. After Nathan's first speaking engagement, yes, you all heard me right, Nathan's first speaking engagement. So let me give you the backstory. So Nathan goes to a Friday night drop-in program at the community center. The community center has a lot of programs for individuals of all ages. They even have dancing for people 55 and over. They have chair yoga. They have a lot of activities, but one of the activities is what is called the therapeutic recreation program for individuals 13 plus and up to 30 something with disabilities, and 3 Friday nights per week between the hours of 7 and 8:30. They all get together. They have it's a social. They have different activities. Sometimes they have games. Sometimes they have karaoke. Sometimes they go on trips, and so it is where all of these young individuals with disabilities come together to socialize. And while they're there, the program has people who are working with them, and so we, the parents, just gather in the lounge and we just talk. And for many of us, it's the only time we really get a break, except when the kids are at school. But there are some individuals who are no longer in school, and so this is when the parent get a break. So of course, me being me, I shared about my books, and so. This book, I'm Just Like You, but different. Many, you know the story. I had created it when Nathan was in kindergarten, and I used construction paper, and it was a means to teach 4 and 5 year old what disability meant and why Nathan was different and his wheelchair and his device and what all of that meant and how they could relate to him. And I, big up Santa Green, because she was the one who gave me the idea that this was a good way to introduce the topic of disability to kids. So the book has been the rave here in the United States. It's in quite a number of libraries, quite a number of classrooms. And so one of the person who works in the center, we kind of struck up a relationship, and she is a coach for a middle school that's grades 5 to 8. And she said once a year she organized an activity where she teaches children a different topic. So she thought it was a good idea to read the book. So she started out with her grade 5 class. But word got across the whole campus, and so everybody wanted to read the book. So she read the book to them, and then the kids were just blown away that she knew the person who the book was about. So, of course, they invited him to come and speak. So he's in school, but I went and picked him up, and we went there. And of course, I'm going to show you some pictures of them as I'm speaking. When I drove in and I saw just the level of accessibility in the space. Of course, they're all decorated for fall, and so all these pumpkins were outside, and he was so excited because as always, we tell him about what we're going to be doing with him, and we prep him for all of that so he's not taken by surprise. And so he was very excited getting there. And so when we got there, she did tell me before that the children had a lot of questions. And so I said, okay, fine. So he uses communication board. And so I explained to the class that, this is how he communicates, this is his voice. And he will be able to answer the questions best he can answer using the device, and then other answer I can fill in. So the first thing Nathan told me to do was to go to the section where he could say, you're hearing that? I think the voice is turned down. Yeah, sometimes I touch the wrong button. Right.
Hello.
Right. So the first thing he goes to the section and he says hello. One of the things he does, because he's in the transitioning to adult life program in school. And so one of the activities that he does as part of his career preparation, job preparation, he goes to the community center. And so his board is set up to be able to have him communicate. So he greets the older people when they're coming in, and they're just so excited about that, and he's so excited to tell them hello. And so he told them hello. And then just before I got started, he asked me this.
Hello, 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 hello. I need you to do something for me.
You hear that? He need me to do something for him. So I said, what do you need me to do for him? This is in the middle of the very first session, But the other thing I should say, the time of day is his lunchtime, and everybody Nathan know he's a foodie. And so when he asked me,
I need you to do something for me.
and I ask you, what do you want me to do? He says, you need to feed me. So I had to explain that we can't feed him just yet. He's there as a speaker, and it was also their lunchtime, and so we'd feed him after. And so, as they asked him the question, he used this communication device to answer. A lot of the questions were yes, no, like when they asked him if he likes school, and he said,
No.
and they asked him, for instance, if he has ever been on a plane, and
Yes.
he says yes. And so he was able to communicate with them using the device. And I mean, when I say the students, they were just bowled over. They were just leaning in as he was communicating. When they asked, for instance, what was his favorite fruit, and that's not on this. And so I know what his favorite fruits are, so I gave him the choice. I say, is your favorite fruit mango? And I used my hands, and I said, yes or no, and he went, mango. And of course, everybody go, ooh, that is so nice. And he had on his Jamaica shirt and all of that. And so he was able to use his device. When they asked him what's his favorite thing to do, he went to this section.
I want.
And of course, he went straight to the streaming services. And so each time they asked him the question, he chose a different service.
Disney.
And he chose them
Paramount.
based on what he likes. So I said pretty much that means he loves to watch TV. So when they asked him what's his favorite subjects, he went. So I explained that means that he doesn't like schoolwork. So everybody was like, "Yay, just like me," and that his favorite subject was actually PE and dancing. So those are not about anything to do with school. And they asked me questions, they asked him questions like, how does he take tests? And so we were able to talk about how the device is used in taking tests. And so he was finished with that one class. Those are the older kids, and then we move on to the other class. And then the younger class, grades 5 and 6, were combined because by then he was telling me, I really need to go eat right now. And the questions were just so many. They just went in. They asked him very meaningful questions. They asked him, what do you like to do when you go out? And so, some of those I had to field because it's not on this. But how I involved him was, I asked him, is this something that you like to do? And he went, yes. He was giving a lot of thumbs up. So I explained to them what he means. Of course, in all of that he wanted to drink, he wanted to eat. So of course, when they asked if he likes food, we're able to tell him that he's a foodie and that kind of stuff. So it was a really wonderful exchange between the students and him. It was a really wonderful experience for him to have been there, to be helping people understand more about how he communicates. And it was so eye-opening for most of the students that at the end, when they were asked would like to take pictures with Nathan, all of them piled into the picture. And so it was a wonderful experience. Nathan was kind of reserved, which is how he is, because he's taking in a lot because it's new. And so when everything was finished, I took him back to school. And when he came off the school bus this afternoon, because he got back to school by midday and they took him straight to lunch, and by the time he got off the bus at 2:45, he was grinning and he was thumbing and he was excited because the monumental moment of the day, or the monumental day, or the moment that he's in, it just kind of settled in. And so he came off the bus, he was very excited, he was saying, thank you, Mommy, that was just a great experience. And, so I am just so excited to see where Nathan is going to go. Further, I want to see, the impact that he's going to make, because he's truly an amazing child. And as the Spirit of God said to me when I was pregnant with this child, I will prove who he is, who God is. And I certainly have been proving that over and over again, because the way Nathan has touched the hearts and lives of people is just simply divine, simply amazing. And so that's the share. So I'm going to be dropping some pictures in here, so you'll get to see some of the pictures. And what I can't drop, I probably will drop it in Facebook. And I'm still waiting on them to send me some of the pictures. I have to send some release for them to use this picture on the school website and so on. And so once I have all of that, you'll be getting more pictures. But say yay to Nathan's first speaking engagement. Thank you guys for your love and for checking in. We appreciate it.